South Wales is in the box seat to reopen its economy in little over a month's time, with 80% of the state's adults now having received their first dose of COVID-19 vaccinations. With case numbers appearing to plateau, Premier Gladys Berejiklian this morning announced the immediate scrapping of curfews in virus hotspots across Western Sydney. New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian joins me now from Sydney. Premier, 80% single jabbed, it's a big achievement today, significant milestone. I guess it's the best guide yet that you're going to get to 80% or more fully vaccinated. When you get there, will this dividing line between those vaccinated and unvaccinated be removed?
Well, look, firstly, Peter, I'm thrilled that we got to that 80% first dose rate because we can move forward with confidence. A lot of places around the world don't get to that level of vaccination. So the fact that our communities will be protected is really fantastic. Secondly, 80% double dose means we can look forward to international travel. We can also look forward to welcoming home lots of Australians, thousands of Australians every week who have been unfortunately stranded overseas and not been able to come home. Now, in terms of what vaccinated and unvaccinated people will be able to do at that time, we're working on that 80% roadmap. For example, in some places around the world, if there's a major event with 100% stadium capacity, in the UK and other places, they say you either need to be vaccinated or else have at least demonstrated a negative test. So there's all these issues we need to work through. But the good news is that if you're vaccinated at 80%, there'll be definitely more things you can do than what you could do at 70%. There'll be greater opportunities for us to increase the numbers at events and other personal and public events. But there'll also be a lot of other issues we need to consider in relation to unvaccinated people.
You have been criticised, Premier, by interstate counterparts, in particular Daniel Andrews, for not locking down hard enough or fast enough. But if you compare where New South Wales and Victoria are at the same point in the current outbreak, Victoria, as late as last Friday, well, they're running with 3 times the cases you did at the same time, half the tests, and about 40,000 less jabs. So does that mean it's more than just locking down that gets the virus under control?
Oh, look, I remember being criticised by a whole range of people when Dr Chant and myself from New South Wales said the vaccine was our key to getting out of this. And if we didn't have those high vaccination rates that we do now, we wouldn't have been able to have the roadmap about reopening, because all of us have to live with COVID. We have to learn to live with COVID. And even states that don't have COVID now, when you get to 80% double dose and you want your citizens to be able to travel overseas or travel around Australia, it's inevitable that Delta is going to take hold. So all of us are going to have to come to terms with this. New South Wales, as the largest state, the most densely populated state, the gateway to Australia through Sydney Airport, it's not a surprise that we were the first ones to have to confront this, especially given we were also welcoming home more Australians than all the other states combined. So there's no real surprise that we were the first ones to encounter this, but it shows what a game changer Delta is. And we knew that in New South Wales, because every other strain of COVID we were able to, knock on their head. We'd only had one lockdown prior to this one. So I'm happy to be lectured by other state premiers. My job is to do what's in the best interests of New South Wales, but also Australia. I think every state has a responsibility to accept we are a nation, we're a federation, we are all part of that family of Australians, proudly. And we have to stand by and support each other. So when a state's going through a difficult time, we should be there to support them, not point fingers. And it's interesting that obviously we're a bit ahead of time from what Victoria's going through, but no doubt they'll have to go through the same realisation and challenges we went through. But it was pretty obvious to us early on that lockdowns of themselves were not going to get us out of this situation, that a high rate of vaccination was. And in some of those special local government areas of concern, as we call them, the hotspots, we have vaccination rates of first dose getting close to 90%. I mean, these were areas which started off with a base of 19 or 20%. We worked our guts out to refocus, to target people in those areas to make sure, and they've literally come to the party. Everybody's been so enthusiastic and positive about the vaccination program. And compared to other places in the world, we've not had to resort to some of the policy measures other nations have made. What we have said to people is we value safety and freedom, And if you want to be part of a society that allows vaccinated people to have all these freedoms at 70%, please come along for the journey. But also keep your family safe, your loved ones safe, do your bit for the greater community. And our community has responded in such a positive way, and I'm incredibly proud of that.